Hello, welcome again on this platform where I share on thoughts about leadership. Today, I'm going to be talking about how you can lead yourself to your dream job. If you were to pause for a moment and think about how much time you spend at work, maybe you want to really give attention to what kind of job you're doing and if it's actually very fulfilling. A very simple analysis that I want to share with you right now may be insightful in that regard. Consider you work about 8 hours a day. That's roughly about 1/3 of the day, right? Now, assuming you've worked for 30 years, essentially that will be about 10 years of working non-stop, 10 solid years. Now, I know if we want to account for weekends, vacations, public holidays, we can take 1 year off. So let's assume that's 9 years. So out of 30 years, you've been working for 9 years solid. Now, if you're like me, I'm sure you don't want to be spending 9 years of your life doing something that is just okay because it pays the bill or it takes you home. I believe that for every one of us, there's a job out there that is very fulfilling and satisfactory, that brings you fulfillment and helps you to also bring impact to those that you work with. So that's why I want to talk to you about how you can lead yourself to your dream job. Before I proceed with the 5 Ps, maybe it's helpful that I also share with you exactly what I think a dream job is. A dream job is a job that engages your abilities and your passion and evokes a strong sense of fulfillment in you. In actual fact, a dream job is not a destination but a journey. What do I mean by that? As you keep on going along your journey, you are evolving in an awareness of who you are, what's about yourself and what you like to do. In the same way, what you consider a dream job will keep evolving along that journey. And that's why it's very critical that you actually learn these skills of how you can continue to lead yourself to your dream job as you move along your journey and your career in life. So here are the 5 Ps that I'm going to share with you to help you to lead yourself to that dream job. The first P is purpose. I am a firm believer that everyone has a specific purpose that they're here to fulfill because every one of us is unique. Now, when I say unique, it doesn't mean that what you're going to fulfill is only you, that no one else can fulfill it. Of course, other people can, but the reality is that no one else can do it the way you would do it if you were in that role. So that uniqueness is what I'm talking about. So to find your purpose, some of the easiest pointers to that are your talents, the things that you're able to do better or more easily than other people, and your passion, the thing that engages your emotions, that engages your interest in a very strong, positive way. Now, these things are great pointers to what your purpose is. I don't know if you've taken time to search and understand what exactly your purpose is and what you believe you're here to achieve, but finding that is the first step to landing that dream job and taking you that journey that I talked about. Now that you have that purpose in mind, the second P is potentials. You want to begin to explore around your environment. What are the different opportunities that give you an expression for this purpose? I have found in my work with clients that many people cloud their potentials or their opportunities by what they are known or what they've known over time. Maybe an example would help. I once worked with a lady who really enjoyed taking care of the seniors, as in elderly people, and she really enjoyed this a lot because it brought a strong sense of fulfillment and impact for her. However, growing up, the only thing she saw around her were nurses, and she just grew up with this desire that she wanted to be a nurse. Unfortunately, life happened. She couldn't go into nursing school. She did something still in the medical field, but not nursing. And when I met this lady, this was about 30 years when she had been in this field, I was engaging her in a conversation and she was like, she still wants to go back to school and do nursing. And I was like, well, you've built a great career in this other direction. Why do you want to go to nursing? Anyway, long story short, after a bit of conversations back and forth, I realized that the reason why nursing had become a label in her mind was because that was what she thought was the only way to express that purpose that she had. So after working with her through a few sessions, she was able to realize that actually she was fulfilling purpose in the role she was in now, and she didn't need to, pivot and go into nursing anymore. Now, why I bring that story forward is I've realized that the potentials with which you explore to see where you can find that purpose is limited by how exposed your mind is. So in this second P of potentials, you want to be very intentional in exposing your mind to all of the various options available to you for how you can actually fulfill your purpose. For example, if you like analytics, data, there are so many options. You can be a data analyst, you can be a marketing analyst, you could be a data scientist. There are so many things you can do in that space. So exploring all those potentials is the next step that you want to look at. Now, after you've analyzed these different potentials, you want to find a way to choose one of them that makes the best sense for where you are along your journey and how you can move yourself from where you are right now to that potential you've identified. After identifying that potential, the next P is pathway. And pathway simply refers to a plan of action to get you from where you are to that potential that you've identified. There are certain competencies and skills, technical, non-technical knowledge that you need to acquire to be able to get into that potential opportunity you identified. Do a gap analysis between where you are right now and what that job requires. List all the different qualifications, skills, behaviors, connections that you need to have in that space, and just identify them so that you can begin to draw up a plan of action to move you to that place. Now, if it's very likely that as you develop this plan, there will be 1,000,001 things that you want to get done. This brings us to the fourth P, prioritize. Now, you want to prioritize these different elements because you can't actually begin to attack all of them at the same time. You prioritize and ask yourself some key questions like, which one of these qualifications or certifications are most relevant in the industry that I'm looking to go into? How much will it cost me to do this? How much time will it take me to get this? So things around the quality, the cost, and the time are three good ways that you can help prioritize those different items in your pathway so that you can list the ones you want to focus on now, because you cannot focus on everything at the same time. Prioritizing helps you to identify those top ones that you can begin to knock off. And as you're acquiring those certifications, gaining those skills, you are setting yourself up and ready for that dream job. The final P is, I don't think it's more important than the others, but I think it's very critical, is people. There are certain people that you now need to begin to build connections with so that they can actually give you the audience, give you the access to the places you need to get to for those opportunities. Recruiters are a good example. Hiring managers are a good example. You want to carefully define the personas of those that you need to connect with that can actually get you to that dream job. For example, if I was targeting a sales manager role, it will be advisable for me to start targeting sales directors, regional sales managers, or anyone else that hires into the sales manager role, or recruitment organizations or individuals that focus on hiring salespeople. Connecting with these people, having informational interviews with them, gaining insights as to what the role, what the industry is looking for beyond my own analysis are all great ways to really equip myself. Now, these 5 Ps, identifying your purpose, researching the potentials, defining a pathway, prioritizing the next steps of action, and finding the right people to connect with along your journey, these 5 Ps help you to move towards that dream job. Now, as I wrap up this video, I want to leave you with this action point. I'd like you to analyze where you are along your journey, between where you are right now and where that dream job you sort of have in mind for yourself that you want to achieve. Look at those 5 Ps again and see where you probably need to do some refinement or some adjustments. Is it in the area of defining what your purpose is? Is it in clarifying what those potential opportunities are? Is it in defining in more detail what your pathway is? Is it in reviewing your priorities to see where you need to make some adjustments? Or is it in connecting with the right people that can bring you to where you need to get to? Find out which of the 5 Ps is most relevant and take the action to move yourself forward along that journey. As I wrap up, remember, it's not the knowledge that you have in your head that makes a difference, it's the knowledge that you act upon. So take action. Bye for now.